So guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. We're back again this week with another video for you. Alright, so today I'll be showing you guys how to build a mini CNC plotter so you can make your own PCBs, drawings, and other stuff. So let's get right into it with the things you need. For this build, you'll need two stepper motors. One for the X-axis, one for the Y-axis. Alright, so these are the cheap $1-2 stepper motors. And for this, you'll also need their motor drivers. We have two over here. Okay, so to connect them on, it's quite simple. You connect this part onto here. It's impossible to get it wrong because there's two hinges over here that connect right over here into this. The other things you need are a pen to draw for you, a servo motor to hold the pen up and down, and an Arduino Uno to power the whole thing up. So as I said earlier, we connect this on like this, right here. The servo motor I glued on these wires. They're all yellow, so you don't really have to worry about the coloring. I'll explain that later in the wire diagram, which will be in the description along with the code. So now let's build everything and cut the wood.
Alright guys, we cut two pieces of wood and they're both 30 centimeters in length and 4 centimeters in width.
Alright guys, so now what I did is I drilled two holes to hold these two things over here. And now I just need to drill one more hole for our stepper motor. Our stepper motor is going to be positioned right here. Around the middle we can drill another hole for the stepper motor circle to go through. And we're going to put this stick right over here. So just going to cut a piece of the straw off, and then we're going to put it in here because the straw can go up and down without causing much friction because it's made out of plastic, it's made out of wood. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to glue one side on like this, one side on over here, and then just glue this big fat piece in the middle right here. So yeah, let me just do that real quick. Okay, so now I've glued this side on as well. These two popsicle sticks are now glued onto this, so they won't be coming off. Here we have our straw platform thing. So we have this side going left and right, which is I'm pretty sure it's called the X-axis. So you're going to put the Z-axis over here, which is going to go back and forth on this area. So the drawing platform is going to be somewhere over here. You don't have to use Lego for this kind of stuff. You can use anything you want. So what I did, I just took this part off. Remember how this part was over here and it's clicked on by the Legos? I took it off and I put a bigger piece of Lego over here and I glued it onto this. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to connect the Lego over here from left to right. So the paper is going to be on this. So the paper should be around this big. And yeah, that's pretty much all I did. I'll show you guys how I did it. Let me just wait for this glue to dry, which is taking a very long time.
Alright guys, you glue it on like that.
Okay, so now I'm going to be gluing the X-axis stepper motor, which is going on right over here. Now you just have to hold on here for a couple of minutes until the glue dries up. And since the stepper motor is made out of metal, it should dry up quicker. There, it's dried up. Now it's time to do the Y-axis, which is this stepper motor. It's this stepper motor, which it goes right over here. If you can move this forward, bring this stuff over here, and this axis stepper motor comes over here. It's like this, which I'll glue down right now. So now we got the whole thing glued on, and
the wire diagram is in the description, so if you don't understand, go check it out.
Alright guys, so now we built the X-axis and it's time to work on the Y-axis. It's a small clip of how it works. I'll show you guys how it works right now. So when you come here, and we plug in the wire, we run the processing code.
The code will be in the description below as well as other schematics, so be sure to check it out.
So on the processing area, you click P, then it'll ask you what port you want it to be on. Mine's on COM4 right now, so I click enter, then I click G, and that takes you to your file explorer. There you just write the name of whatever you want it to print, and it comes up, I click enter again, and now it starts working.
And here, it's moving now. It moves at different speeds throughout the process. Right now it's going at a fast speed.
Right, this is the fastest speed it can go, and near the end it'll start going a bit slower. So it should stop around here. Now it should start going slowly backwards.
Look at the wheel, it's going really slowly. Now it's going back the other direction.
And now it's going back to left, quite fast, it's fastest speed. And that's just a small demonstration of the X-axis. Now it's time to work on the Y-axis. I showed you how to build it. We just have to add the string onto it and then put it onto the Lego.
You need a pulley mechanism down here, so you need some string going around. And each time the wheel and the motor moves, it's supposed to move your X-axis and your Y-axis. So now time to work on the Y-axis.
Right now you're looking at the X-axis that we have done. And here if you move the camera a bit down, we have the Y-axis. That's going to move it back and forth. And let's just run the code real quick,
so you can see how this thing works. And then after that, we're going to connect the two together and we're going to print some stuff out.
I'm going to click the enter key and it's moving.
See if you see the servo motor is moving backwards. The movement is quite slow, but
it's also precise, so like you can't really see anything about that.
it's really precise. It draws really accurate lines and whatever you want to draw with it.
Now swing back forth. Alright, so now I'll just connect it on and we can just change the code up a bit and you'll see how it works. So we were having some technical difficulties downloading the code and writing it. So instead of controlling with the code, we're going to be controlling it manually with these 6 push buttons and 1 potentiometer.
Although our machine is completely done and works perfectly fine, we're just going to program it manually so you can follow our steps and do it that way.
Okay, so now for the control board, or like the thing you're going to use to control the CNC drawing machine, we're going to use 6 push buttons and 1 potentiometer. For each push button we need 2 wires, so we're going to do the right side first. We have 3 wires for the G and D, 3 of these longer wires for the source pins, and we're going to use 1 of this really long wire that I extended earlier. To first things first, connect 1 wire there onto the left of each of these things. You should use small wires so that you can like connect it to the other side of the breadboard and then you can extend them. Now extend them somewhere in the middle so that they're not connected to any other wires. And now grab this really long wire and connect it right here. So now look, this wire is holding every single G and D from these 3 buttons. Now what we have to do is connect this wire to the yellow breadboard on the CNC drawing machine, the G and D port over there. We'll do that later because we don't really have that much space over here. Now it's time to connect the source pins, which is pretty much the same thing except you have to connect it on the opposite side on the right. So that's right there, and this one comes here. And last but not least, this one comes right here. That's the source pins. Now we have to grab our Arduino Uno from our CNC drawing machine and we have to connect them over there just to see if one of the axes works properly. So let's do that right now. Right, so now you got the first stepper motor to work. You click this button, the stepper motor, the X-axis should go to the right. As that happens, the middle button makes it stop, and the left button makes it go to the left. And you can go directly to the right by clicking the button. All the wiring is pretty much the same thing we did earlier, but on the second Arduino. I know I didn't mention that you'd need one, but like, come on, it's just another one. So what you have to do is upload the same code for both Arduinos. The wiring is exactly the same, the buttons are on the same wires. The only difference is that they're on 2 different Arduinos. Don't worry, I'll give you guys a quick demonstration on how everything works. Okay, so I rigged both of the Arduinos to control it by 1 external power source, which is this battery. I connect the VIN inside right now. Now you can see both LEDs are turned on from the Arduinos over there. And we use this button to control the X-axis. But that way, this one brings it back.
That's the Y-axis.
My bad, the Y-axis. This is for the other axis. And now it's time to control the potentiometer with the servo motor, or control the servo motor with the potentiometer. So now we have to see if it works. So for the test, I am going to draw a square. To draw the square, we have to move this thing forward. And there you have it.
We have successfully made a square, pretty much a square or a rectangle, with this CNC drawing machine we've been working on for many days. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for our efforts. It took plenty of time and effort, and you can see we have a finished product that looks really neat and it works perfectly fine. Also,
the code will be in the description. As I said earlier, upload the same code to this one as you do for this one.
and we'll see you guys next week. Bye!